Blessings everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a juicing video. I'm going to show you all two separate recipes that you can use for your juice cleanse. And I'm also going to add in some tips on how you can utilize this juice cleanse as well. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so for our first recipe, we are going to start off with cutting up the beets. So I have 3 small size right here. And we're just gonna cut them up. You don't have to cut them too small, just small enough to be able to fit inside the juicer. And everybody's juicer is a little different, so you know how wide the opening is, so just cut it to where it will fit. Alright, so now we have our cucumbers. For this recipe, we're just going to use 2 per drink. Okay, so we're also going to be using some apples. I think I actually only need 2 for this recipe, so I'm only going to cut up 2 for now. And I just like to cut around the pit. And we don't really need too much because we don't really want it to be too sweet, especially for the drinks that we're going to be making. So yes, I just make sure this end is out. Okay, so we're also going to need some ginger. I don't need to use too much, so I'm just going to cut them. And then we also have a piece of turmeric. I don't really need too much of this either, so I'm just going to cut it up like this, and then I'll put it in depending on how much I'll need. Alright, so now we are ready to start juicing. I have everything cut and ready to start. Yes, so as you all can see, I already have almost 16 ounces and we haven't even put the cucumbers in yet. So of course this is the extra part that's been separated, so this part you can always just turn into like a face mask, hair mask, put it in your garden, whatever you want to repurpose it for, but it can be repurposed. So we are going to let a little bit of this out and go ahead and start juicing our cucumbers. Alright, so now we're going to start our cucumbers. And that's actually the last ingredient for this first recipe. I do have a couple pieces of ginger left, so I'm just going to wait towards the end when I'm tasting it just to see if it needs a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure I have enough ginger in there. Okay, so I got almost around the same amount when I juiced the cucumbers as well. So it's still a little red because the beets, there were some probably still stuck in there, but this was all cucumbers. And we should be at 32 ounces pretty soon. So now I'm just going to taste a little bit of it just to see if I have enough ginger. Actually it's perfect just like that. So we're going to get started on our next recipe, and we're going to be adding the cucumbers, pineapples, and then turmeric next time instead of the ginger. Okay, so we're going to put our first drink in the jar, and you can see how much we have. and make sure it's tight. So anytime you're not using your drink, just make sure that it's tight so that way we don't let too much oxygen in. All right, so let's get started with our second recipe. Okay, so we're gonna get started on our second recipe. The second one is just going to be pineapple, cucumber, green apple, and that piece of turmeric that we cut up earlier. So this one is not meant to be as much of an intense recipe as like the other one. So we definitely would want to probably use this one maybe midday, so after your lunch or closer to like that dinner time. But yes, we'll go more in detail in that probably in the next video on how to implement these recipes in an actual juice cleanse for the whole day or multiple days. So let's get started with the second one. Okay, so as you can see, the pineapple filled up the juicer already, so it's definitely time to go ahead and release what's in there. Look at that. 1 pineapple, 16 ounces. Okay, so our cucumbers filled up as well, so we're going to go ahead and take out a little bit. That was another 16 ounces of just the cucumber. We just have a few cucumbers left and the green apple, so we're just going to finish that up and we're actually almost done with our second recipe. Alright, so that is officially everything. And so this is probably around 35 ounces because that's 30 there. So yeah, so around 35 ounces of juice for our second recipe. Okay, so this is our green juice. And as you saw, that we have a lot more liquid coming for our second recipe, which is perfectly fine. If you think that you need to kind of like stretch the red juice, sometimes the beets and like this mixture that's in here can be a little bit intense, and it is more than okay to add some water to it. This is what I do sometimes if it's a little too strong, especially if this is going to be your morning drink. So we're gonna go ahead and tighten this up. And if you've watched the last video, you'll know that I usually use a strainer. So for these ingredients, I actually did not need to strain it, so I'm actually okay with drinking it just like this. All right guys, so I have both of my drinks right here. I'm gonna start off with the red drink first. So it is still early in the morning and this is going to be what I'm gonna start off with for my cleanse. And then for probably 2 to 3 hours, I will probably not eat anything. And then I will have this one. So this is basically my lunch. But let me go ahead and taste it just to see how it came out. I'm pretty sure it's amazing though. Wow, that's good. Not too sweet, but definitely not bitter. So I'm really excited to drink that one later. So yeah, so we're gonna have our red juice for now. I hope you all enjoyed this juicing video and it gets you up and going and motivated. I'm gonna have a few other videos following this one, and definitely will help you all on your new journey for detoxing, or if you're gonna do it for weight loss purposes and things like that. I'll have some more videos on it coming up soon. So definitely please subscribe if you haven't already, and click the like button if you enjoyed this video. I will see you soon, and until then, stay blessed.